Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is David, and on this episode we are going to talk about something. If you are a newbie and you ask me, Dave, what is the most single item that's most important that you ever bought? I'm going to say two. There's two things actually, and one of them is the backup monitor from Haloview, which I absolutely love this product. This has been a game changer. I mean, I just would not do without it. The other thing would be a tire pressure monitor system. Well, our friends at Haloview have sent us a product to review that puts the two together. So in this video, we're going to go through an unboxing video showing you all the stuff that's in it and the installation of that and how we think the product is going to work for us. All right, so stay tuned. So this is the Haloview BT7 with the TPMS built in. So this is going to help free up a little bit on my dashboard because I have the existing monitor and I have a TST tire pressure monitor and I use my phone. So I have these three things on my dashboard that, you know, consume a lot of space. So this should help in reducing some of that space. So let's take a look at what is in the box. All right, so we got our manuals, and it is well packaged. All right, so we have the camera. So it comes with these two mounts. Now I already have an existing mount, but I'll hold on to these. You never know when I might need to change something. It comes with 6 tire sensors. It comes with 2 boosters. It comes with a display. And by the way, this one is touchscreen, so I'm excited about that. Good looking monitor. And underneath here we have the antennas, power adapters, and all the mounting hardware. And wow, yes, they even give us batteries. All right, so we are ready to begin the installation, which is also going to entail that I take off the old camera. Now, one thing I do like about this that I didn't have with the other Haloview monitor or the camera is that this has a housing already built in, and I had to use a boatload of butyl tape to make it look nice, I should say. So this would be exciting to get figured out and how this is all going to hook up and how this will screw into the rig. All right, so let's climb up on the roof. Let's take the old one down and put this one up. The instruction manual is pretty well laid out, and it shows all your things. It shows everything that you have or that you should have. It does give you all the details of the receiver or the monitor, excuse me. Here you go for that. The holders, different types of connections. So you're going to have a wiring diagram for one method and another wiring diagram for another, and it goes into details. You can read through that to meet your needs, and it goes through placement of the antenna. So about the antenna, Haloview sent me this wiring kit, and I don't know that I'm going to need it, but if I do, I've got it. This may be an option. You may not need this. So we will find out. Let's climb up the ladder and let's take the old one down and install the new one. And I've already got most of the tools I think I'm going to need to do this job. So here's what I've got. I've got paper towels, some alcohol, and not the fun kind, screwdriver, pliers, cutters, fire drill, speed things up if I can. And here we are with the old existing awesome, I mean totally awesome backup camera. I love this thing. It is quite clearly one of the best things I've ever bought for the rig. However, things always get better. And as you can see, this butyl tape has held up pretty well, and I tried to make it look like it was a bracket because the bracket that holds this on here is just really just a kind of like a metal one. So we're gonna take all this off, clean it up, and put the new one on. All right, let's get rid of this up and out of the way. All right. course, it's never an official job until you drop something. All right, there we go. Now the messy part. This stuff sticks all to your gloves. All right, well, I'm gonna keep digging. I had to resort to my actual scraper. It's still plastic, but it has a little bit of a sharper edge right here to get underneath. All right, we got this sucker clean, and it is good and clean. All right, so we're gonna grab the rear camera and we're gonna start mounting it. All right, so it looks like the components for the camera are gonna be, of course, the camera, the housing that it's in, and it has detents built into it. So you don't have to worry about getting up there with those Allen screws adjusted to tighten up, you know, to get it angled just right. It has some detents that you can turn it right in. And it has a rubber mat that would go up against the rig. And then I think this will get installed like this, and it snaps into here. You want to make sure there's no water leakage. So I'm going to add a little silicone to the screws as I screw this in place, and then we'll see how well that goes. All right, so back up on the roof. Let's get this installed. This is that rubber mat, and it does look like the hose pretty much line up with the factory hose. So I will be filling these guys here with some silicone. Also, I noticed one of them felt loose, so I might do the old toothpick method where I put some toothpicks in there to help the screws get a better bite. Matter of fact, I think I will do that. Where you take some toothpicks and or a toothpick or so, and you just put it in the hole where you're gonna put the screw in. So if the hole was a little wallered out or it won't tighten up, you can take a toothpick and just kind of shove it in there and break it off, and that gives the screw something more to bite on. So I'm going to fill those holes with some silicone, stick these in there, and we'll get a good bite on that thing. All right, so also I want to note that on the camera assembly, on the wiring, depending on your rig, you'll have to use the little adapter that's supplied that plugs into the camera, and then this end goes into the 12-volt supply from the RV, assuming that you have one that's been pre-wired. If not, I believe you just tap into the lighting system. All right, so let's get this guy mounted and move on our merry way. Turn and lock. All right, there we go. Then just plug this in. Now there's a lot of excess here, and it looks like there's enough of a cavity back in here that you could probably put most of this back in here. And honestly, I probably should have waited to screw that cap on, but it looks like it's going in there pretty well. So let's see what we can get back in here. Well, that's pretty darn good. All right, I'm gonna still push this one back in there. Let's see if we can. Yeah, it's not going back much further. All right, take a break here because I need to show you an issue that I've run into as I was trying to mount the wiring to the housing here, because there's so much wiring, and I couldn't get all of these connectors either behind this or into here. It won't fit. So I had to do something I really didn't want to do, and I had to cut my factory connector. So I'm going to shorten this wire just a little bit, and I took the wired adapter that came with the kit, and I'm going to strip this back and splice this together so that only thing I have to push back in here will be the combination of this connector here and this connector here. And I hope it goes back in there. It's been a tight fit, so just be aware. I checked out a couple other YouTube channels and they didn't have any issue, but I'm not sure how much room they had back behind here. I mean, I guess I could drill this out more, but I really don't want to do any more, you know, making the holes bigger. I actually did scoop out an extra insulation back in here just to make room, a bigger cavity back here to get this wiring in. So let's see where this goes with this connection and see if we can make that happen. So, all right, here we go. All right, so those are crimped on there. I'm going to secure it with a little bit of extra electrical tape, because once I push that behind the wall, I don't want it to come apart. Green wire is not used for this installation. Actually, if I had to, see, I could push this back in there now. Be careful, there's a little O-ring there. Pay attention to that. Okay, now let's go ahead and get that in place. Hook the camera up. See, the problem is this won't even fit back in behind here. Okay, so this is gonna have to probably go behind the wall. Oh man. All right. Yeah, that's not gonna fit either. Oh, geez. So guys, I actually had to cut the end off of this. Now, I don't know this is standard. I'm sure Haloview would not recommend doing that, but that was the only way I was gonna get all this wiring into this cavity or behind the wall. And I couldn't get the connectors to go in either here, which is maybe where it should go. So Haloview, if you're watching this, you might want to consider making those adapters just a little bit shorter, or make the cavity bigger where I can get those in. But I mean, we're just talking about wiring, so I'm not horribly worried about it, but golly, I hate doing that. I hate cutting into new stuff. So we're gonna splice this in, get all this tucked in behind there, do a check, make sure all this is working, and move on. Okay, and that's exactly what I had to do. So I spliced the camera wiring directly into the RV wiring without any of the quick connect adapters. Also, what I was able to do was I was able to get the splice back into here so it doesn't have to sit behind the wall. That way, if there's ever an issue, I need to redo something, then I know my wiring is out here and it shouldn't come out from behind the wall. Now we're going to position our gasket in place. Well, actually, let's put the excess in here. That is going to make for a nice, clean installation. We're going to shoot a little extra silicone on these screws. I do know I was overcautious when I put all the stuff in originally. So I'm doing the same thing again. Again, I'm just getting these screws started because the holes were just a little bit off. It wasn't horrible, but you know, I don't want to make it worse. And I think the toothpick method helped these things get a better bite. All right, so Okay, so let's hand tighten these at this point. Let me give you guys a quick view of what I've got. Okay, so I've got all the screws back into the original location. I've got some extra silicone in there to make sure there's no leaks. It looks like the gasket is seated properly all the way around. And now I'm ready to tighten these things down. You want to make sure you tighten these things down manually and not with the power screwdriver. So let's make sure this thing gets a good bite. See, I'm not feeling a good bite on that. Okay. All right. That one might need a little bit more of the good old toothpick stuff. Let's try that one. Oh yeah. All right, that feels good. Yeah, I really hated cutting into the wiring, but man, I saw no other way to make this happen. Wow, that looks so much neater. You know, I'm probably overcautious, but I may actually put a little thin coat of silicone around at least the top side of all this, just to make sure. Look how much neater this install is versus what I had. All right, we'll hook up the antenna, do a system check, and then we'll tighten all this stuff down and double check the screws back here, make sure they didn't waller loose. Clearly labeled camera. So here we go with this guy. All right, we're gonna turn this, get that antennae up. Let's get power to the rig via the truck, and let's test out the connection. All right, so I got my trusty jump starter, which has a 12-volt outlet to power this guy up, since we're not in the truck at the moment. But I think I have to pair this with the camera. So let me go turn the battery on. Excuse me, let me go turn the lights on the truck. And would you look at that? I didn't have to pair it. How awesome is that? And wow, look at the clarity of that screen. Isn't that beautiful? All right, touch screen. Nice. Okay, let's kill the volume. We want mute, there we go. Wow, I like this. Okay, so we're in the truck. It is mounted where I typically mount the other one. I don't think I would need to use the expansion cable and the antenna to run it to the front of the rig, and we'll give this a quick check and I'll report back to you guys if there's any issues. But that's the install the tough way, and this thing paired automatically. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're going to install the sensors on the tires, get that calibrated and get that ready to go. And I think this is gonna be a great option. Man, I am so looking forward to using this. Like I said, I love my Haloview monitor. It's one of the best things I ever bought for the RV. Okay, let's get to the wheels. Yeah, so the rear camera installation was a little bit more cutty than I wanted it to be. I don't know why the instructions didn't go into any more detail about maybe issues like that. Actually, there was very little about the camera installation, because typically they're simple to do. Even the last one I had, the last camera I put back there, I had to loop around all the excess cable. So I don't know if it's just our RV had too much cable, or between the adapter or the power adapter and the adapter that came with the camera, it was just too long. I couldn't get it into the behind the hull to get it to go down into behind the rig, behind the walls of the rig. So, you know, even though I had to splice it, it's not terrible. 2 wires, red and black. It's not hard to do. Just make sure you got good crimping tools and that you have good crimpettes, or whatever those little things are called, so you can get a good nice crimp on that wiring. Now we're going to get to the tires, and let's get the TPMS configured and ready to go. So the setup of the tire sensor is pretty straightforward. I mean, you're gonna take the cap off. You're going to use the supplied the CR1632 batteries. So I've already done one of these, you can tell. Simply slide the battery in place and put the cap back on very snugly. There is a small O-ring right here, so you need to make sure that you don't tear that or lose that. There are some extras that are in the kit, but you want to tighten that up. And now we need to put those onto the valve stems. But on each of the caps, and you're not going to be able to see this very clearly, but each cap has a stamped number that will correspond with the location on your tire and how it's going to be displayed on the monitor. So make sure you pay special attention to that. So when we get to the basically pairing this to the receiver, then we'll know which one goes where. So for example, this one here is marked DD0064. We'll just say this is left front. And we'll say this one here is DD003B. It goes to the rear, left rear, and so forward. So there would be our layout on the tires for the rig. And now we need to make these work with the monitor. So as I mentioned in the opening video when I was doing the unboxing, this comes with 2 boosters, and this is for extremely long rigs where you need to boost the signal from the transmitters here to the receiver here. So these will boost that signal, and the supplied cable has alligator clips on it. I mean, that's okay. It will actually work in my situation because I have a little panel in the front bay where I keep like a 12-volt panel, so I can just clip these right on. So that'll work. I probably won't need to use both of them, but if need be, we'll put one right near the wheel and one in the front bay, and then this guy should pick it up. Let's get these guys paired first with this. So the first thing you want to do when you're at the screen is you're going to hit the screen and you're going to hit it again, and then that will bring you up to this menu. And what we need to do is go to the TPMS setting right here. Okay, so there are 2 methods to set these up with your screen here. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do a manual ID. And again, you get the ID numbers off the caps. So we're going to do this one. This one's going to be the left front axle of the rig. And what you do is you press the axle side you want it to be. In this case, it's going to be left front. And we're going to manually enter the number. Press enter. And now we're going to set the low and high pressures. So we'll start with the high pressure. I don't remember the numbers. I'll come back and change them later. I'll say 150 PSI is too high. Oh, not 1500. Okay, enter. And we'll say low pressure is going to be, we'll say 50 pounds would be low. And there we go. So this guy is now configured and ready to go into the truck. The other method is AutoLearn, and we're going to go outside and connect one of these to the rig and try AutoLearn. Okay, so we have the left front sensor on, and as you can see, it is reading the tire pressure and temperature. So looking pretty good. All right, so now we're going to go do this side over here, and we're going to try the AutoLearn. Okay, so now we are on wheel number 2, and we're going to take off the old sensor. All right, we'll try the AutoLearn again. So that's going to be on this wheel here. This is how we're oriented. So that's going to be this wheel. And we're going to do AutoLearn waiting. Oh, there we go, it found it. Okay, so that is how you hook up and do the AutoLearn. So honestly, I found it was just as easy to do manual. So to to me that was just as easy. But there you go, you have two options to do it. Now we'll do the last wheel over here, and this guy will be done. Last wheel, gonna be right here. Oh, press that and then AutoLearn, waiting, and there it is, it's found it. So now we have all four wheels. These two were done manually, these two were done automatically. Okay, so now we got all the tires set up. I've got the camera on, and we're gonna see, I was wondering if we would see like a monitor, and if we would see like, I don't know, battery status, or not battery status, but the tire pressure status on the bottom. I don't see how to make it view that way. So what I'm gonna do is go back to the screen, but what I wanna see is if I unscrew this, will this alarm here? So here we go. All right, that sensor is totally off. Okay, we got the low, there we go, we got that. Low pressure, fast leak. There we go. All right, let's put this guy back on. All right, he's happy now. Okay, I looked in the manual and I looked all over the screen for an option, and I would really encourage Haloview to make this an option. I would love to see maybe at the bottom or somewhere on here a way to view tire pressure monitoring all the time while I'm viewing the rear screen. I couldn't see how to do it. If somebody knows how to, please let me know. But it is just quick to get in. You just double tap and hit TPMS, and there you are. So that's pretty quick. I mean, it didn't take that long to do. But I always would glance, at all my stuff. I would look at my tire pressures. I would look at my rear view, my rear, and I always look at my temperatures, my gauges when we're driving. So that's the only thing at this point that I find I wish they had on here. But the screen looks amazing. I mean, it is clear. I can't wait to take this for a spin. We've got several trips coming up this fall and winter, so this is going to come in great. I'm still going to hook up the signal boosters for the wheels, or for the sensors on the wheels, and put this thing to use. I'm testing the new Haloview, the BT7, and I can already tell you that. Sorry, I'm on some really rough roads. I can already tell you that I'm probably going to have to put the booster cable on, because I'm seeing dropped frames, if you will, pixelation, and it just sometimes wants to freeze. So even though the previous one I did not have to do anything, it looks like this one is going to require to use the optional cable and antenna. So I will be climbing up on the roof this evening and installing that and taking it for another spin. The other thing is the tire pressure monitor. And I hope Haloview, if they hear this, they just take this in consideration for maybe an update. But I would like to see polling on the tires. So for example, the TST would flicker on the tire that it was currently updating or sensing. So again, that's just something I've referenced in the past, and I would like to see something so I know that it's being updated, because it took a while for the numbers to update, and I don't know if the other booster is going to be required for that or not, to get the signal strength to the monitor here. Okay, so I took her for another test drive with just the tall antenna that goes with the extension cable. Took her for a spin, and it did better. My bars were between 2 and 3. They would kind of flicker back and forth. But I went ahead and installed the cable and mounted the adapter, I'll show you in a second, to the front of the rig. So you mount so I got the camera mounted right here, and I got some cable, or I got that cable, And the kit comes with these, well, the expansion kit, the cable kit comes with these tie downs. So I've got those placed strategically, I think. It's the first time I've ever put any kind of cables up on the top of the rig. But anyway, I've got this all the way to the front and right there. Now, the instructions say to make it go down as far as you can, but I didn't really want it to be on the graphics in case we had to do something with that. So I cleaned the spot off right there and adhered it. I think that should be fine. Plus, I'd rather have the antenna slightly angled in order to for wind, wind resistance. And this is not. I just screwed this on. This probably can go that way, but I'd be afraid that as you're driving, it would just whoop, flip back around. So I'm going to maybe put some die-core down as well, just to kind of help hold it in place. I'm not sure how well the little tabs are going to hold. We'll see. I'm ready to take it for another spin. I did check the cable, or excuse me, the signal while I had this down there at the bed of the truck, and it was like 5 by 5. So that was all good. Okay, so now I'm back in the truck. I've got the camera going. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see right here. It's kind of an odd color. It blends in really good with everything else that it shouldn't blend in with. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars if you count the very first one that has like the low antennae on it. So that's as strong as I guess it's going to get. But I put the TST back on here, and the reason why is because I watch my tire temps and my air pressures a lot, and I was finding it distracting to have to tap the screen to look at my tire temps. So it will show you, or it will alert you if there's a sudden drop like I showed earlier in the video. But I monitor this stuff all the time as I'm driving. It's kind of keeps me occupied and busy. So I put the TSTs back on, and I'm going to go ahead and just use that. But nothing's going to go to waste. So I'm going to try and put these on the truck. Okay, and since this right here, I probably won't need the booster, and I'll have active pressure monitoring on my truck. All right, so as I was showing earlier, I'm now putting these on the truck. This would be the truck. Here's the rig, and 2 of them already picked up the temperatures and the tire pressure of the truck. So we'll do the other side. So again, we're gonna do the right front. And I'm just letting it do AutoLearn. It works. All right, let's summarize this product from Haloview. The BT7 with the TPMS monitoring system built in is something that I would highly recommend if you do not have either one of these products, meaning if you don't have a backup camera or you don't have a TPMS system. This is clearly your choice. This is the one to get. If you already have a backup camera and you don't have the TPMS, maybe an upgrade. Okay, get you both things. If you have a tire pressure system and you don't have a backup camera, I would recommend this. Now, in my case, I had both. I had the TST and I had an older model of the Haloview. And would I have upgraded to this? Yeah, I think so. However, like I stated in the video, I want my tire pressures and my temperatures on my tires constantly available to me. So I have opted to use the sensors from this onto my truck, and I kept the TST in the rig, or on the rig. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this, and Haloview makes a great product. Again, I can't overemphasize how clear the screen is. One follow-up thing, I think I would recommend the add-on cable with the antenna. I had to put that on to get the video to stop dropping frames or to stop, you know, like cycling through or pixelating. So I would highly recommend getting that also. And so with that, I will leave any codes down below for a discount for you. Let me know if this is something that has helped you guys out. I can't overstate how happy I am with the Haloview products. And also I want to thank Haloview for sending us this for evaluation. It is definitely a game changer in the clarity of the screen. So all right, with that, we're gonna be heading out in January for some trips. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, ring that bell, and we will talk to you soon.